Hey everybody, welcome to 180, where each week I give you two things to equip you for ministry and to encourage you in your daily lives. Let's get started. Well, for today's ministry tip, I actually have a question for you. Here it is. How can I add value to my classroom? You see, it's easy to be somewhere, but are we making an impact? Are we adding value to our classroom? Something I would love for you to ask yourself each time before you serve. Now, there is so much inside of every one of you. I know that because God's called you to serve in Invincible. And He called you because of what He's placed inside of you. But oftentimes, we don't know all the gifts inside of us, or we don't value ourselves enough to really feel that we can contribute in the capacity that God's called us to. So let me ask you this question again. How can you add value to your classroom? I believe there's two main areas in our classroom that we need to add value to. First and foremost, that's the children. That's what we're called to minister to those children, to help them encounter the love of God. And I want you to spend a moment thinking, how can I add value to them? You can encourage them. You can play a game with them. You can just be their friend, sit next to them. There's so many things you can do to add value to them. Second part of this classroom, I believe, is your teammates. The people we work with, how are we adding value to them? You know, you have so much inside of you, and God wants to use that to help encourage your teammates or to show them how great of a job they're doing, or many of the different ways that you can add value. But if you don't see yourself as a valuable person, you'll miss the opportunities God has for you. So take a moment and reflect on that question each time before you serve in Invincible. How am I going to add value to my classroom today? And if we'll have that mindset each time we serve, we'll change the way that our children are ministered to and that we work with our teammates. Let me give you something for your daily lives. You know, for some reason, in my mind, in a lot of our minds, we feel like whether it's in our work or at our homes or in our marriage, that at some point we're just going to get to this place where we can put it on cruise control, and let everything go, and it's just going to remain in this perfect state of order. But unfortunately, if we're doing something worthwhile, that's just not the way it goes. Let me give you a great quote that I heard from John Maxwell today. He says, "Everything worthwhile is uphill all the way." Now, we understand that good things require work, but sometimes don't you just feel like at some point I'm going to get to a place where it gets easier? Maybe you have got a bunch of kids at home and you say, man, once the kids are out of the house, then life's going to be easier. Or maybe you're in school and you say, you know what, once I graduate, then life's going to get easier. Or once I get that promotion, or once I get that new car, or once I get that whatever it is, then life's going to be easier. But you know what? If we're doing things that are worthwhile, we can find out from experience that's just not the case. Anything that's worthwhile is going to take work the rest of our lives. So if you're in the middle of something that's super hard, be encouraged. You're doing the right thing. Keep your effort up and don't quit. Well, I pray that was a blessing for you guys. God bless you. Have a great week.